ask you, like, tell us what's coming next from you, because you're working on a lot of things. You've been working on a lot for the past couple of years. So tell us a little bit about that.
Oh my gosh, Laura. I have so many projects on the back burner. The hurricanes this season have just caused everything to slow down to a halt. Right now, I'm just
Yeah.
playing catch up with my projects, my creative business, and I'm kind of pulling my hair out because I want everything now. I have the knowledge, I have the equipment to move forward with the things I
Yeah.
want to do, and it's not enough time to get everything done in the timeline that I want to get done. But basically, what my husband and I are focused on right now is
Mhm.
building up my upgrading my CBG crafting studio. So I used to build cigar box guitars on a tiny table on my porch. It was fine for me for a long time. And I enjoyed working outside, being out there in the porch and the breeze. My husband lived out in the country, out in the boonies of North Florida. We're surrounded by nature. Right in front of me, when I'm working out on my porch, there's a big, beautiful oak grove. It's
Mm.
magical working outside, except in the summer. The heat here is
The heat, yeah, yeah. But it's
but
getting better. It's getting better now.
it's getting better, but right now it's gorgeous and a half. But the thing is, I started doing craft markets, and people from YouTube started contacting me, and I was getting too many orders for me to handle. I was working at a pace that was slow
Yeah.
because I was working with hand tools,
Mhm.
and
No, and
I'm like,
also because you're very detailed and you want things to come out right. So you always go
exactly.
back and destroy it and say, no, this is not right. And I know you. You go back and you say, let's do it again.
Oh, you remember the back and forth we had with, it's like, this isn't coming together. It's like,
No,
Laura,
this is not.
and so, but the thing is, when you're so detail oriented,
Yeah.
you really need, like, the basics of the build. You need equipment to help you get through the basics faster so you can focus on the
Yeah.
art
True.
of the
True.
build. With the help of my husband, my parents, um, I've started moving into a garage space that was not being utilized by us. When we moved 3 years ago to North Florida, and we still have so much junk in the garage. Moving has been it was a long, arduous
It's
process.
been 3 years already. Yeah.
Seems like yesterday for
It's
us,
a
and
cliche, but it's one of those cliches that it's worth to use. So it's
yeah,
amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
I needed a dedicated workshop with better equipment. So right now we're in the process of continuing to clear the space, because it's taking us a little bit longer because the garage is going to serve two purposes. It isn't just my workshop, but it's also going to be a space where we're going to broadcast live performances from. So um
Yay!
I
Oh
know.
my god, I can't wait.
Yes, yes. So we're gonna be live streaming. It's going to be like our own little personal juke joint, out in the middle of nowhere, and
Nowhere, yeah.
we want to invite friends over so that we have a live audience, but we also want to live stream with a live audience. And so, yeah, we're also setting up the live area in the
Mm.
garage. So it's a double whammy of a project. The performance area, which is going to include lighting, projection mapping, and I'm going to take the my lighting design out into the oak grove that's behind the garage.
Oh
And
wow.
so when people come to see our performances, there won't only be beautiful lighting in the performance area, but out behind them, you're surrounded by light, and those trees
Mm.
are going to be reactive to the sounds
To
that
the
we play.
sounds.
I know how to do all of this stuff. I know how to do it.
I
It's just
know.
about getting to the point where I can sit down,
Mm.
work with the technology, put my circuitry together, put the route my cables, troubleshoot, and also get my equipment together for building guitars, which is
That's
going
what
to be the focus of the performances, you know?
I
So
understand. That's what gets frustrated sometimes with us creatives and those people that have a million things in their minds, and like me. And it's the same thing with me. I have all these books that I've written and that I continue to write, and these courses and classes that I have through the years, and continue to create. And then in my head, it's like, why don't I have it out now? Why can I? Could this just happen now? And that's one of the lessons that me personally I've learned through time. It's like, you have to wait. Things will come when they will come, when they have to come. Of course, you have to move also. It's not like,
of
okay, let me
course,
just sit down and balance in my sillon, it's like, but yeah, it is frustrating. I understand when you have your head full of ideas and things, and you're just there and you cannot let them out.
apart from the guitars, I've been working on a musical robot for a long time.
A
I have
musical. Oh.
Yeah, it's gonna be a percussion robot. It's actually modeled after something called the Piatuino. If you go into the Arduino forums, you can get the schematics for building a percussion robot. And so I'm building my own version of the Piatuino, and
Oh,
that
wow.
project has been on the back burner for such a long time. I have all the parts, all the components, except for the, solenoids that actually, percuss things. And
How is it gonna be? Are you play it? Do you connect it to the computer and let it
you
play,
can
or?
you'll be able to connect it to any digital audio workstation
Mhm,
that is MIDI capable, send it MIDI data. MIDI is its control language. It's basically what makes it
mhm.
go. So, and I would also be able to play it on a keyboard if I wanted to
Ooh.
improvise on it. So I had,
Oh.
and this is also going to be a part of our live set in the garage. Yeah, so many exciting projects. I wish I was there at that
Mm.
point where I can just work on that. Something
Yeah.
that a big time producer once told me.
Mhm.
I met him at a school forum. He said, so long as you keep creating, and
That
so long as you don't stop
that's what I was
creating,
gonna say.
things are
Continue.
gonna happen. Yeah,
Just continue. Keep going, keep going, keep going,
yeah.
and they will fall. Things will fall where, in time. In time. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly right. And oh, I know people in my audience have been waiting for this, but leg fiddles. I have an incredible design for a leg fiddle where anyone who plays three-string cigar box guitar could just pick up this leg fiddle and sound like a violinist.
Oh my.
I'm ready to push and make this thing, but like I
You
said,
will. You will. You will.
so many projects, Lord.
You will. You will. Maybe at some point in our lives, we need to stop, because the same thing happened with my books. I had these ideas about books, and I'm like, wait, let me get these out first and
Yeah,
stop and put those ideas in the back burner. That doesn't mean that I'm going to completely, get rid of them and not think about them anymore. But I have to put these out first. And once, like, by December now, I'm going to have out probably 3 or 4 of the books that I wanted to put out.
nice.
And then January, February, and March, I'm giving myself until March to continue, editing and putting out those also that I want to put out for my students, which are more like coaching books about for students and things that they have to do. And then I can go back and continue with the other projects that I have, building things, and so many things that I have, thinking of people that I can help, building maybe dolls for children for Christmas.
Oh,
Yeah, I have so many ideas, but is it the time to do it now? No, I've realized that I can't. I'm only one person with many ideas. So
right.
one person with many ideas, then what do you do?
You have to finish something first.
Absolutely.
And you just finished publishing your mother's book, which was an
Oh
incredible
yeah, that one too.
undertaking.
This
Yeah,
one. Yeah, this one too. This is my mom's book that I stopped mine, and I'm like, I have to get her out too. And yeah. And then she has another one coming up too, a novel coming up. And then
Wow.
yeah, yeah, but it's just so much, so much, and people sometimes they don't realize the time that it takes to edit, the times that it takes to format it, to put it all together, to upload it. And I have to mention it here real quick because I am so thankful to Muriel, because if it weren't for her, I wouldn't have been able to advance as much as I have done in this past couple of months. See, she's from Argentina, and she said, Laura, I'll help you do it. I'll help you upload it. I'll help you put it in there. And so you can continue with your book. So just have to surround yourself with people that are mm, that understand what you need to do and why
Yeah,
you need to do it. I
right.
think that's important too.
Right, right. And yeah, shout out to Muriel. And Peter Pepper in the chat says
Hi, Peter.
priorities. Priorities, priorities. That's exactly right, Peter. You have to
Yeah,
what is a priority at this moment, and then not get
yeah.
frustrated with yourself when you're just,
Hmm.
yeah, there's all this stuff you want to do, but you have to
My
focus
God.
and finish something first. And
Yeah,
yeah,
and then when you're thinking of doing other things, you might even forget of the simple things of life because you're so much into, oh my God, these things that I like. And to go back to our costumes today, I was thinking, oh my God, no, I don't have time for a costume. What do you mean? And then I'm like, Laura, stop. It's Halloween. Enjoy like you used to enjoy it. It's Halloween, and dress up and put something on. And then I didn't like it. I was going to take it off.
oh
And then I'm like, whatever, it's Halloween, and let's just enjoy that Halloween moment at that time, and then there'll be enough later on to think of other things that we have in our heads.
the project that you're working on, you're always thinking of other
Yes.
things that you want to do, and it's like you're never satisfied. And we have to let that go. We have to be grateful for
Yeah.
what we have,
Yeah.
enjoy what we have in the
Yeah.
moment,
Yeah.
and enjoy the
Yeah.
projects we're working on in the moment, and not think about,
Mhm.
what you could be working on.
And that's
And
not easy. That's not easy. It's one of the things that I'm always talking about when I'm dealing with the coaching, that you're always thinking of what else can I do? But wait, you have to think, did I do what I have in hands right now? Did I
right,
finish it? So why are
right,
you thinking on the future when you haven't finished what you have right now? So
right,
yeah, it is important to, and like they say in yoga as well, be right here in the moment now. That doesn't mean that
exactly,
you're going to forget about everything else, but it's
right,
going to give you at least how do you say aliciente, like a relief, when it comes to like, okay, let me forget about everything else and let me just focus on this now. And then like this book, I'm done now. I finished it and I'm not going to think about it anymore. Is it because I don't love it or I don't like it? No, because I'm tired of editing it so much, and and I'm putting my heart and more into it. And so now it's like the book is done. What's next? And then,
exactly.
but at the moment, you can have a million things, but okay, you come next, you know?
It's so important to live in the moment and to enjoy what you're currently doing. And I think
Yeah.
at least what stops me from being able to do that, it's like, oh, you could be working on this project and wow your colleagues and show them that you are this look, you have the capabilities to do this and this and this, and it's
Show what
all
you got. Show what you got.
show off, it's all an insecurity when you
It's
can't
true.
focus on what you need to do right now. Yeah,
That
what
is
I'm doing
true.
right now is not very glamorous, but you know what? Um, what who are you doing this for? And that's the reprogramming that you've helped me manage. You've helped me get out of that mindset. It's like, Liza, who are you doing that for? Why does this have to happen now? Why is that timeline so important to you?
Mhm.
Who are you
But
trying to impress, Liza?
but I
And
want yeah, but I
yeah.
want to say something. I want to stop you right there. I'm sorry to,
No,
but
no, go ahead.
what
Yeah.
you are doing is very glamorous. And that's one of, and sometimes I think like you, I'm like, oh, what am I doing here in my house, my home office, my this and that? I'm like, wait a second, you have done this, and sometimes we need to talk to ourselves to remind us, like, you have all this and you have already done this and you have these beautiful plans for the future. So then we start saying things like what you said now, maybe even without thinking, that I have said myself. It's not very glamorous. My husband has this wonderful job and he's got his computer and his clients. And look at me here, writing this book, editing this book, doing this tutoring for this student or not. And I'm like, no, no, why? Why do we do that? So I don't have the answer to that, but I do have the answer to say that is not right. We have enough. We have enough, and we are building, we're continuing until we can to
Right.
continue to build all these things that we have in our heads. And what you have is beautiful, beautiful. Every time I talk to you, all your ideas, all the things that I know that I can see them, you have to visualize it. And I can see that space that you have with your music. I am looking forward to when you're ready to throw a conference there and
I
do
would
something I've told you. So yeah,
love to, would love to, and it's